Zach Life, beat depression, and stay 653, and we're back in the place to be with another somatic healing session to wipe out depression. Thank you so much, anybody who's here now, anyone who's tuning in later. I've misplaced my timer. I've probably got to run and grab that, but I'll get it in a minute. Before we get into that, as you guys know, this show is based on mental health first. Without that, everything else doesn't really matter, right? We can't do much of anything else if we don't first take care of our mental health. So we're going to be training martial arts and martial arts techniques, mixing in mental health tools, and finding ways that we can help ourselves. As individuals, we're all on individual journeys, so we've got to find those tools that work for us individually. One of those powerful tools that we like to start every show with is gratitude. Gratitude going out today to all the first ones into today's session. Simon Amaze, Lance in a Trance, Brett DM, good to see you, Brett. Soul Traveler out there, good to see you again. And Mad with Hats, thank you guys and girls so much for being here and supporting the cause and supporting each other just by being public with self-care. And even if you're just stopping in for a moment to say hello, I appreciate that time. I appreciate that moment because time is all we have out here. So when we use it to build up one another or support one another, it can make a much larger impact, have much more positive impact in other people's lives, and it has a positive impact in mine, and that's why I'm grateful for it. So thank you guys so much. Shout out to Luca and Lisa the Luminary as well for making it in. And we talked about our gratitude, too, of my gratitude going out to you guys and girls. Think about your gratitude for today. Think about something you're grateful for, and that'll help put you in that positive mindset as we move into today's lesson. Before we get into that, we'll talk about our second mental health tool being progress tracking, goal accomplishment tracking, success tracking. That's what this number is about. This number tells you so many different things, not just the number of days that you've trained or completed this program, but the number of days that you've gotten up in the face of opposition. If you're dealing with anxiety or depression, or you're dealing with those negative thoughts or blue periods, you'll know from experience that sometimes those things can give us false thoughts. Those things can tell us things like it's not even worth it to get up, or you can't get up, or you can't get out of bed. Sometimes, if you're at the clinical level, I speak of personal experience, there were days when it felt like my body was physically heavier than it is, and it was physically too heavy to lift out of bed. If you've got those thoughts, if you've got those lies coming in from depression or anxiety, this number is something that you could look at and anchor yourself back into reality. You could put it, get a board like this, because the board works too. Get a board, put that number up each day you complete your training, hang it on the wall, put it next to the bed, put it somewhere you can see it, and remind yourself, if you ever wake up with those thoughts, with those lies in your head, remind yourself that you have, for 653 days, or however many days you have been crushing it, you have beaten those things, you have proven those things false, and you have found the truth that you are more powerful than those thoughts or lies. So look at that number and say, yes, this is, trying to keep it PG. This is nonsense that depression is feeding me. This is nonsense that anxiety is feeding me. It's not based on truth. The truth is, I was strong enough to get up and fight. So I know, not only am I happy of what I've done so far, but I can look forward to the future and look forward to another 653 days of progress. So if you're making progress out there and you're accomplishing that daily goal or that consistent goal, even if you miss a day, you don't lose a number, right? We don't fall off the wagon. It doesn't go back to zero. You still got 653 days of proof. If I stopped tomorrow, I'd still have 653 days of proof. Same thing for you. So please do keep track of that number. And if you've got it, if you've been making progress out there, share that progress with others, and then we can inspire each other to do better in our lives. Just like that gratitude tool works both ways. The list tool, when you share it, works both ways as well. It inspires me to keep going and inspires other people to keep going as well. So if you got progress, if you're making progress out there, progress is success. Share that stuff, man. It's good stuff. or woman. Let me know how many days it's been for you guys. That being said, let's thank a couple more people who I see popping in here. I don't want to miss anybody. We got Thor up in here and Maine Gonza. Thank you guys so much for joining as well. Thank you for the support. And Lucas said Claire can't do it today because her port is all red and hurt. I'm sorry about that, buddy. I hope that Claire feels better soon. Claire is an inspiration out there. She shows up from time to time when she can, shows up to her level, even as she fights forwards through chemo. So, and she's only 5 years old. Luca as well, 8 years old, tuning in, making progress, showing up for him, making himself stronger, developing skills, and fight for himself as he deals with the things that he has to deal with in his life. And just because they're younger doesn't mean they're not dealing with problems. We all go through struggles every single day, and that's why we train daily, to crush those struggles, to get that accomplishment and push forwards, not just for today, but to prepare ourselves as well to deal with the struggles of tomorrow, because we know every day is going to be something. And Brett said he's been gone for a few months, but he's still at 35 days. And that's what I'm talking about, Brett. Even if you took a break, even if something happened, let's say there was some circumstance where you stopped for a while, you still have that proof. You still know, as a matter of fact, you can look at that number and say, for 35 days, I crushed that thing. For 35 days, I knew I was stronger. I know I am stronger than anything that was trying to stop me. So you know you're capable of at least another 35 days. And the more you build on that number, the more powerful that number will become, and the more it will reinforce that truth that we are stronger than depression. We just have to find those ways forward for us. And Lucas said, can you tell my mom to get me a punching bag? Maybe everybody can help him out on that. I don't know. I can't tell your mom what to do. I hope she does get you a punching bag, gloves, and wraps to protect your hands, because that punching bag, not that one, but that one on the ground over there, literally saved my life. It was the thing that let me do that 180 when I was in my worst stages of depression, on medication and in therapy, still in a downward spiral. That bag is what flipped the script on depression. That's the bag that showed me my time was valuable, showed me I could build myself up with my time and give myself a reason to live out here. Instead of trying to live for all these other things, I could take what I wanted from that bag and make what I wanted happen. I can make progress with my time and my energy. So I hope she does get you back, because it's such a good, healthy somatic release for stress, for anxiety, for frustration, and it's empowering. It empowers us to fight forwards through whatever we're dealing with. So if you don't have a bag out there, get a bag. Get to a gym where there is a bag. Find a friend who has a bag. Find a way to get that stuff out, because talk therapy is great. It has its place. It's totally beneficial. Medication also has its place. At times, it's critical. We need it. But this thing doesn't have any side effects. This thing, you only have to pay once. Once you buy it, it continues to return on that investment. You return on that time. So go out there and get it back. And if it doesn't work for you, try it at a gym. Try it at a gym and see how you feel after you hit it. That's the point of the Beat Depression Bus, to bring that bag to people who haven't experienced it, so they can experience it for the first time and feel that release, that same type of release that so many other people have felt, that has been life-changing for them. So that being said, that's a lot. I'm sorry. I know we went off a little bit, but let's get back on track for this lesson. Today's lesson, we're going to be practicing some variable combos. Again, this time we don't have a partner, but it's not going to stop us from making progress. We're going to talk about jab, cross, knee strikes. We're going to talk about jab, cross, clinch knees. We're going to talk jab, cross, clinch, switch knees to switch things up. And we might mix in some other things as well. We'll be going through our standard rounds, 3 minutes each, 1 minute breaks in between to catch your breath and drink some water. Make sure you've got water out there and you're staying hydrated. And make sure you are pushing to your skill level. Another mental health tool is the flow zone. The flow zone, if you look up state of flow on Google. Fact check me, by the way, on everything I'm saying. I'm not out here to sell you some snake oil. Everything's for free. I'm literally not selling anything, except for some sweet merch sometimes, if you want to check it out on the shop. But check out the flow zone, because when you're in the flow zone, when you achieve a state of flow in the mind, it's defined as a eustress experience. That means stress cannot exist in the flow zone. Other things that can exist are the mild to moderate symptoms of depression and anxiety. Check that stuff out. So once you enter state of flow, you're free. You're a free man or woman out there. You're free to improve yourself. You're free to feel how powerful you really are. And that's one of those things we can do with flow training. By pushing yourself to your skill level, and as that skill level increases, increase your challenge. Get faster. Put more energy behind those punches. Increase the volume of those punches. Those are things you can moderate in your training, and continue to learn new techniques and become even more and more powerful. And Brett says, preach. Heck yeah, brother. I'm out here speaking the truth. Ken says, sometimes you don't need a bag. Why not try air instead? Yeah, of course. Air is better than nothing. Shadowboxing is definitely a great tool as well, a great somatic release. But the bag does add a whole nother level of healthcare, a whole nother level of self-care. It's going to build muscle. Punching, the act of punching a bag and having that feedback and resistance actually relieves muscle tension in your body. You can Google that one as well. So not only are you training yourself and getting a workout, getting a stress relief, but you're also relieving tension in the muscles, relieving stress. So this is different from just punching air with no resistance, or even with resistance training where you wind up sore and stiff. Punching the bag actually loosens you up. So, and it helps you de-stress. So check that out. So many benefits. I could talk for the rest of my life, and I intend to, about all the benefits of martial arts training. That's kind of my dedication out here. I've decided to train every day until depression's wiped off the face of the planet. So it's going to be a long time, maybe. We'll see how much we can do together. But I'll be here every day trying to do my best to share those tools. And we are getting into a lot of combo today. Let's get back on track so this lesson doesn't run overtime. Back on track. All right, we're going to visualize our depression dummy. Visualize that form of a man or woman that you'd like to strike and assign it the name depression or anxiety, whichever thing you want to work on today. By assigning that name to that dummy, we can consciously acknowledge what we subconsciously do every day, which is knock those lies out of that depression dummy's stupid face. So go ahead and square up, pop into your Muay Thai stance, and we're going to start with just the jab and the cross, and then we're going to reach in for a clinch and drive a knee, a long knee, whoosh, right into the guts of that depression dummy. So for the long knee, after we engage the clinch, first hand behind the neck, second hand supports, we're going to drive that dummy forwards, pull that dummy towards kind of that second arm, pull him towards the knee, and we're going to drive that knee, send that foot back that's about to strike, and swing that knee forwards, right into the guts, pulling the head down this way, boom, driving the knee forwards, letting the shoulders go back, boom, as the hips go forwards, and we turn through those hips and drive that knee up. You'll notice my foot's coming up as close as I can to my booty. I'm pointing the toes, making that knee nice and sharp, and I'm driving it through. Hips go forwards as shoulders go backwards. That's the long knee. The knee right into the guts of that depression dummy. So jab, cross, we're going to be moving around, working that lateral movement, horizontal movement, jab, cross, step in for clinch, drive the long knee, whoosh, and back to stance. We'll mix up the combo from there, but those are the basics. We'll also be doing a switch stance knee, so we're going to fire a knee from the opposite side, and in order to make that knee from the opposite side effective, we've got to switch the feet. That'll give us more room for that preload. So after we're in that clinch like we did before, we're just going to give it a quick hop, swapping the feet, preloading that other knee for a nice strike, and do the same thing on the opposite side. Drive the head in, pull the head in, shift the hips forwards, and exhale hard. Ooh, my southpaw is rough. That's why we got to practice these things from both sides. It's improving my life, improving your life, improving everybody's lives out here by making progress and working on things that we aren't good at, right? That's how we unlock that road for success. And shout out to Elvira. Thank you for being here. And Tractor Trailer Soldier Spy, thank you as well. Appreciate you guys. How many days have you been doing mental health thus far? I'm not sure if that question's for me, but you know I'm keeping track of it. It's been 653 if it was. And this is where I'm at. 653 days, 0 days of suicidal ideation, 0 days debilitated. Those are my indicators that I'm past the clinical side of depression. Depression's on a spectrum, so we're all going to deal with levels of depression. We're not curing depression out here. We're beating depression every single day. We deal with it, we train to overcome it, and we prepare ourselves to overcome it the next day. So that's why it's beat depression, not cure depression. And as long as we keep going, we can keep making progress. It's always worth it. And thank you for the congrats and the hands. Appreciate that. Now we're going to get into it. We're going to have the fighting spirit of the 80s to fuel our training. And we'll go through those rounds, kind of break down the technical parts, stay a little higher intensity for the non-technicals. And I'm going to grab that timer and be right back. Hang on. Hang on. All right, as my timer boots up, Ken shared his progress. 261 days for Ken. Congrats, Ken. Congrats on that progress. Thank you for sharing that number and helping others out here with your experience. Now, as the timer boots up, let's get some sweet retro synth 80s vibes with fighting spirit to fuel our progress. If you'd like to try training with these beats and help me raise awareness to the free mental health tools we offer at saclifeofficial.com, just post up a training video with any one of our saclifeofficial.com beats. You can search saclifeofficial.com with the music button in stories or reels, and if you post up and tag us, we'll repost you on our main page, and that'll help raise awareness to the website, which will empower people with all of those tools. Talk show to break stigma, talk show to share other tools, this free daily training, plus the option to find that beat depression bus when it's in their area. So if you or a martial artist you know would like to help raise awareness to free mental health tools, tell them about the Beat Depression Challenge. Here we go. Let's get into it. Standard rounds, 3 minutes. 3 minutes each round, 1 minute break, so catch your breath and drink some water. Make sure you're staying hydrated. Now let's get this thing going. 3 sets. Come on. There we are. All right, let's do it. Visualize that depression dummy. Square up with them. Square shoulders, square hips. Nice balanced stance. Remember, head centered, chin tucked, feet evenly spaced apart. Bend those knees so that the weight is on the balls of the feet. That will aid in rotation. And start shifting that weight from the front foot to the back foot. Chin tucked. Keep it nice and centered. You can roll those hands to keep that balance and add to that flow. Start stepping in for the number 1. Right there. Twist through the shoulders. Turn that fist over and land on those large 2 knuckles. And then rotate back to stance. Keep that flow moving. Let's go. Back into it. Keep it squared. Visualize that target. Each part is important. Think about every moving part, one at a time, focusing and refining. Step in for the jab. Boom. Twist back. Rotate back to square. Keep it moving. Step in for the jab. Exhale on that strike. Rotate back. And keep it moving. Let's go. 1. And rotate back. You can start turning it into a rhythm. You can sync up with that beat and slowly refine that technique as you sink and find that flow zone that challenges you to your level. Twist through those shoulders. Tuck the chin into the shoulder for added defense. Turn that body on the step in. Land the punch in the face of that dummy. Same time your foot lands on the ground on that small step. And back into it. Let's go. So much room to improve out here. Unlimited road for progress with all martial arts. Let's go. Step in for the jab. We're going to add in the cross in 3, 2, 1. Jab, cross. Back to stance. Back. Back. Tuck that chin. 1, 2. Twist through the body. Boom. Boom. Exaggerate those punches. And back in. Squeeze that fist at the point of impact. And turn them over. Make contact with that depression dummy's face. And start on that vertical, that lateral movement there. If you're experienced, if the movement will help, if you're comfortable doing it, 1 foot at a time. Never bring the feet together. Always stay balanced and keep it moving. Let's go. Let's flow. Step in for the joint. 1, 2. Back to stance and keep it moving. Step in for the 1, 2. Back to stance. Sink on those knees. Think about that center line. Visualize that target. Roll the fist to keep the rhythm. Boom, boom, boom. Shift that body weight. 1, 2. Let's go. And back. And back. And back. Sink on it. Turn through the knees. Turn through the hips. Turn through the shoulders. And drive those punches down the center line. Hands come back to defend the head after each strike. And back into it. And back. And back. And back. And back. And back to end of round 1. Catch your breath, drink some water, check in on yourself. We'll get more technical and add in those knees in round 2. Woo. We got 49 seconds. All right. In the next round, we're going to be adding in some knees. And Luca said boys only can do karate, right? No, that's absolutely wrong. There are a ton of awesome women out there doing martial arts and doing karate. Check them out. They're all over Instagram. Nina Karita, one of my favorite female martial artists. She's practicing Muay Thai out there. She's an inspiration. She's a world ahead of me in experience and skill level, and I'm learning a lot from her. So it's absolutely not only for boys, it's for everybody out there. Let's pop back into stance, square up, 2 seconds left. Get that guard high, and we're gonna start with the jab cross, ba, ba. And from that cross, we're gonna drive a long knee forwards. Remember that long knee. Drive that long knee forwards, boom. Chopping the arm on the same side as that knee. Let's go. Jab, cross, long knee. Exhale hard and back to stance. Now we're gonna add that long knee into a clinch. Step in for the jab, rotate for the cross, rotate and grab the back of the neck of that visualized target. Reinforce with the other hand and drive that long knee. Straight through the guts, pulling the head down and driving that knee forwards. Stepping that rear foot back will open up even more space and give us more room to speed up the knee and do more damage. Exhale hard as you drive that knee through. And back to stance, back into it. Keep it moving, let's go. Guard high by the brow line, tuck that chin. Step in for the 1-2. Back to stance, step in for the clinch. Clinch there, re-support with the other hand. Drive the head down, send the knee forwards. And back to stance. Chin tuck will help with that balance. And let's keep it moving. Work that vertical, work that horizontal. Move your way around that depression dummy. Boom, boom, boom. Step in for 1-2. Hit him in the head, 1-2. Boom, boom, one more time. And step in for the clinch, re-support, and drive that long knee. Loose. Right in there, back to stance. Exhale hard on those strikes to add power from the core and make it an even more effective strike. Let's go, 1-2. Back to stance, 1-2. Back to stance now without the clinch. 1-2, long knee. Loose. Back to stance. One more time, 1-2, long knee. Loose. And back to stance. Turn it into a combo, make it flow. 1-2. And there. Think about all three of those moves as one continuous move. And that can help you enter that state of flow as well. Loose, loose, loose. One continuous combo. Jab, cross, knee. Back to stance. Jab, cross, knee. No pauses in between. Back to stance. Tuck that chin. Roll those fists to keep that flow and let it go. 1, 2, 3. Back to stance. Let's get back into that clinch mode. Step in for the clinch. Reinforce with the other hand. Drive the long knee. Loose. Back to stance. And we're going to swap the feet now. Bam, into southpaw. Sending that other leg far back. Preloading for the second knee. Going to drive the knee on the opposite side. Loose. There it is. Pull that head down towards the body. Drive the knee forward, swinging through the hips. Loose. Exhale hard. And drive that knee through the body of that depression dummy. Loose. Let's go. Back to stance. Square up. Orthodox position. Step in for the 1-2. Loose, loose. Back to stance. 1-2. Long knee. Back to stance. 1-2 clinch. Boom, boom, boom. And drive the long knee. Right there. Exhale hard on those strikes. That's the end of round 2. Thank you, Ree Brickman, for being here. Luca was just asking if boys only can do karate. And Ree Brickman is, are you in Taekwondo or are you in karate? Ree, let us know out there. But Ree Brickman is also a martial artist, and she is a woman, and she's super dope. So check her out for some tips, for some moves out there. It's definitely, martial arts is definitely for everyone. It does not discriminate. We got 20 seconds left. Go ahead and pop back in to your Muay Thai stance. In this next round, we'll be working that switch a little bit more and practicing those knees from both sides that we can balance out that training, while at the same time working that 1-2 jab, cross. She does Taekwondo. There you go. And martial arts is definitely for anybody. Absolutely. So that's one of the beautiful parts about it. It's for everyone. We can all learn, we can all grow, and we can all benefit from each other's progress out here. You find that amazing community of supportive, growth-minded people. Let's get back into it. Muay Thai position. Step in for the jab, cross, go right into the long knee. Whoosh, back to stance. And this time, we're going to hit the jab, the cross, pop for that switch stance. Boom. And drive the long knee on the opposite side. Whoosh, back to stance. All the way back to orthodox. Jab, cross, long knee. Whoosh, whoosh, long knee. Back to stance. Switch that stance. boom. We're gonna do the same combo on the opposite side. Jab, cross, long knee, whoosh. Back to stance, all the way back to orthodox. Same combo, jab, cross, long knee. Long knee, back to stance. Jab, cross, switch knee this time. Ready? Jab, cross, switch. And back to stance. Now jab, cross, clinch knee. Let's do it. Jab, cross, clinch. Re-support, drive that knee. Pull the head down as the knee goes forward, back to stance. Swap those feet. Stay here in the clinch. Swap the feet and hit them with the knee on the opposite side. Whoosh! Exhale hard as you drive that knee forward. Swinging the knee forwards, pulling through the core. Exhaling hard. Drive that head down. Drive that knee forwards. Step the foot back to give yourself more room to accelerate the knee. Whoosh! Swing through the hip. Whoosh! Exhale hard. Whoosh! And pull that head down as you drive that knee in. All the way back to orthodox stance. Jab, cross, knee strike. Let's go. Pop, pop, boom. Back to stance. Jab, cross, switch knee. Bam, bam. Whoosh. Back to stance. Jab, cross, clinch knee. Let's go. Boom, boom, clinch. Knee. Back to stance. Jab, cross, clinch. Knee. And then switch knee. So double knee strike after this one. Let's go. Step in for the jab, the cross, clinch, knee strike, switch the feet, knee strike on the opposite side, and all the way back to orthodox stance. Let's keep it moving. Jab, cross, long knee, whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Exhale hard. Back to stance, jab, cross, switch knee. Back to stance, jab, cross, clinch knee. Let's do it. Boom, boom, whoosh. Back to stance, jab, cross, switch. Long knee from the clinch. And this next one, jab, cross, clinch, switch, knee. Exhale hard on those strikes. Back to stance, keep it centered. Visualize that target, knocking those lies out of that depression dummy's face. 1, 2, back. 1, 2, back. 1, 2, back. Chin on the center line. Let's do jab, cross, knee. Back to stance, jab, cross, switch knee. Back to stance, jab, cross, knee. Back to stance, jab, cross, switch knee. And that is the end of round 3. Congratulations. If you showed up for yourself and made progress today, congratulations for showing up for that process. Because that progress is success. When we make our goal showing up for the progress, showing up for that process, we can enjoy the success of pushing forwards, of making that progress every single day. It's not about the numbers that we hit yesterday or the numbers we'll hit tomorrow. It's about showing up to your skill level and giving yourself a challenge for today. You are alive and powerful today. You're capable of moving forwards today. You're capable of making your time valuable today. And that's what you just did. Whether it was 1 minute or 10 minutes, congratulate yourself for showing up on that process. And if you, for some reason, didn't push to your skill level today and didn't get a physical workout, and you still feel like you have a lot more to give, and you need to get it out there, you need to get the energy out there, give yourself a bonus round. That's what the bags are for. That's what for martial arts schools are for, and personal trainers are for, and friends who practice martial arts are for. So get together, get out there, explore your options, find the things that work for you, and give yourself those bonus rounds that you deserve. And let's address those last couple comments. Martial arts is for everybody, no matter what gender. From Ken, absolutely. And Lucas said it was his friend that told him that. Don't worry. Lots of people have are still dealing with stigmas. We talk about stigma in mental health. There's stigma surrounding genders as well. We're not about stigma. We're about knocking out that stigma and breaking those old ideals, those old false ideals, so that we can empower one another and move forwards. Because we can make progress for ourselves alone, but the only way to make progress for our environment, the only way to make progress on a large scale is by working together. And we're not going to be able to work together if we have these old-fashioned stigmas in our heads, preventing us from helping ourselves, preventing us from helping others, and preventing us from learning from others. I've learned a ton of stuff from women, and I intend to continue learning a ton of stuff from women because women are awesome. And there's some really amazing martial artists out there, both men and women. So don't limit yourself with those views. And don't worry about apologizing. Luca, it's no big deal. Lots of people have those views, and we're working forwards through them. We've got to stay strong out here, work together, and lead by example. We're not here to convince anybody of our ways or our thoughts. We just want to live it enjoy it. If it works for us, be that example, and it'll inspire others to do the same. Shout out one more time to Len for joining. Appreciate that support. And Brett said, woo, working at my level today. I am done. That's what I like to hear. And Matt with Hat said, good jobs all around. Heck yeah. Love that social support. Thank you guys so much for being part of this social support system that is globally helping people to move forward. So even though it's on a small scale in comparison to social media in general, we're still helping a lot of people. And not just through Instagram, but through that website. So until next time, I will catch you guys and girls. Same sack time, same sack channel, same sack life. Sack man out.